We're just going to go round nice and slow. So welcome back to another video. Today is D-Day for the Twin Engine Corsa. So today we're on the dyno. You will have seen we've repaired the cylinder head. I've done a lot of heat cycles. I'm literally going to retorque the cylinder head now before we leave, but everything seems good. I've also changed the water pump. I had an original plastic Davis Craig pump. I've gone for the slightly bigger, the aluminium one, which I'll be honest with you, on just looking at the heat cycles, is absolutely amazing. The heat temperature in the car stays really low, to the point of at some points I've got to turn the pump off because it's taking too long to warm up. So that is working very efficiently. So fingers crossed, I've got a good feeling about today. I'm more prepared. I'm a lot happier than the last time I went when it was rush. Fingers crossed today will go to plan and we'll get the numbers we want and we'll be ready so we can get out this year. Some other things to add. Some people are asking about the Mini. So this is the Mini I've had in for a bit of a job. So this is originally they use an A-Series bottom end. So this is an A-Series bottom end and they use a Honda K1000 motorbike cylinder head, which makes it obviously a 16 valve. Obviously you run the throttle bodies off the bike. This will give probably 130, 140 horsepower. Quite a nice little thing, but that's people have been asking, so I thought I'd just give it a bit of a show. Let's just retorque the head. Let's get loaded up on the van and trailer, and let's get over to EFI parts so Chris can work his magic and we can get back out in the beast. So we've arrived at EFI parts, unloaded the car, done the dyno. We're literally just warming her up now. A lot of the ECU is fine because obviously the car's run. We've obviously just refreshed the engine, so it doesn't need a lot of, let's say, the mapping. It's more a check, a few little tweaks, and then we should be good to go. Because everything like cold start, the boost control should technically stay the same because all we've done is refresh the engine. Fingers crossed, feel better than usual. Let's see how we get off. Chris is never happy to tune this. He always hates the rear engine because there's always a thin piece of perspex between him and the engine, and he's not over happy with it. But thankfully for me, he's been with me since day one and he continues to support me. So thank you, Chris, and I'll always support EFI, as the guys who watch this channel know. Finding spinning the tyres on the dyno, we've got a lot of boost and not enough grip, so let's see if we can possibly take the tyre pressures down and try and reduce some of the boost. Not really gone to plan. Good news, bad news. Good news is engine's fine, engine's healthy, runs good, creates a lot of boost. We're seeing some like 26 psi, which is coming to nearly 2 bar. So engine and setup, fine, perfect. Map looks good, doesn't need much adjustment. But what we're finding is the clutch is struggling. Can't remember the last time we refreshed the clutch in this. So the clutch is slipping. Because the springs are so big and it's a 28 psi, it literally throws it all in at once. And the clutch is just struggling. The upsetting thing in all of this is, it is literally 90 quid to have the clutch completely refurbished, but I've got to take the full engine out to get to the clutch. But it's one of them things, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, but we're always moving in the forward direction. So we'll get back, I think, in a few weeks' time. We're going to put a clutch in it, then just to do a couple of power runs, just to double check everything, and we should be good to go. And on the same day, Tom's back in with his van, so fingers crossed, by the end of that session, we can have the van finished and the Corsa finished. Obviously, after the dyno, and obviously you've seen the clutches slipping, we decided to come and give the car a bit of a run at a local spot where it's very quiet and there's a couple of straights. The more reason for that is, if it's only the clutch to repair, the last thing I want is to go to like a runway day or the quarter mile and find there's something else wrong with the car. This is just kind of just to put it around because the map looked good on the dyno, the front engine's already all right. This is just kind of a bit of a shakedown to diagnose what's going on. A couple of friends have come, one of the neighbours has come, a little boy who's probably my biggest fan. He always comes to Torsten and work on the drive, so we've invited him along. I'll also show you how the car works internally as well. So what I'm going to show you is basically how you kind of run the two engines independently. So as it sits now, you have the 4 cables already attached, so it changes gear on both engines. So all you do is turn the ignition on, start the front, turn the ignition on, start the rear, you're ready to go. Turn some fuel pumps on and water pumps, but that's by the by. But then also to run independently, black dot, they represent the rear engine. So what you do is take that one off, we're in neutral. Now that's just changing gear on the front engine. So all you do then is just fire the front engine, you're driving on the front, and vice versa. So you'd put the rear cables on, there we go, that one's on, and that one's going on. Take that off, and now we're just changing gear on the rear engine. So that's how you can choose from front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, and all wheel drive. You go fast. We're just going to go around nice and slow, not just on one engine, nice and slow, just so you can tell your mates at school you've been in it. Yeah, don't be scared, honestly. You come and talk to me all the time, so come on. My little number 1 fan out with a little pot around so he can tell his mates at school he's been out in the car off YouTube. Very noisy, isn't it? You can tell your friends now at school you've been in it.
That, when you let off, that's a scarier moment than when you're putting the power down.
Yeah, because it wavers.
But when you let off, you can feel the whole car just start floating around, yeah.
So what happens even worse is, so we were not, obviously we're not fucking hammering it, we're just tooling along. So when you go from second to third, you launch it and it goes onto boost and you're like, right, third to fourth, that little stall between going bump to bum, it goes, because the power comes off and it comes back on again.
Yeah, we need to do something like that.
So when people keep saying to me, just keep your foot in it,
yeah,
you've experienced it now and you know that
never
it's not
in a million years.
Not as simple as
because
just
you know
keeping
that
your foot in it.
when you let off,
it's going to waver.
It's just going to start sneaking all over the gaff. Yeah, you need to do something with that.
car on the trailer. Kind of a bit of a success to express why I've done what I've done. A couple of friends have come down. I said I'd take them out for a little bit of a tour so they can feel and smell and see what it's like. Plus, my little #1 fan from up the road, one of my neighbours, I wanted to give him a little bit of a look because he came to the Vauxhall show last year but never saw the car run. So I wanted to take him out for a little bit of a blast. As I said about dynos and things, so I could have gone to an event, and now I've been to drive it, I can see that the front engine is revving slightly faster than the rear engine, meaning I need to adjust the throttle cables so they kind of go at the same time. As much as the clutch is slipping on the rear, I've found out the throttles are not in sync, so that's the job I've got to do. That's me going to sign this one off. Eventful day on the dyno, eventful day in the evening, and I think, you know, hopefully you've enjoyed the fact of giving you a little bit of a demonstration of how the gears work and how you engage each engine. Fingers crossed, we'll be out this year still. Engines are looking strong. It's always 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, but we're always moving forward. So signing off. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.